What happens when the goddess of creation meets a being that even reality itself can't comprehend? When purpose collides with paradox and storytelling meets silence. In this epic face-off, we bring you two of the most unfathomable forces in fiction and cosmic philosophy. Elaine Belloc, the girl who became God in DC's Multiverse, and Aletheia, the SCP-CN entity that embodies absolute destructive truth. Elaine shapes existence through emotion, design, and meaning. Aletheia erases it all with a presence that denies illusion, memory, and even narrative itself. This isn't just a battle between characters. It is a confrontation between creation and revelation, fiction and finality, God and the end of knowing. In this video, we dive deep into who they are, how their powers work, and what would happen if they ever met. Not in battle, but in existence. Because sometimes the greatest war is not fought with fists, but with ideas. Get ready to witness a clash beyond dimensions, where even gods tremble and truth has no mercy. Who is Elaine Belloc? Elaine Belloc. A name that echoes through the heavenly halls of the DC universe. Introduced in the Lucifer comic series, published under DC's Vertigo imprint, she started as a seemingly ordinary girl. But her fate was never ordinary. Elaine is the daughter of the Archangel Michael, one of the two greatest celestial beings under the presence, the supreme being of DC's Multiverse. Born of both mortal and divine essence, Elaine possessed a rare sensitivity to the supernatural. As the narrative progressed, she evolved from a curious child to a cosmic force that even gods could ignore. Her destiny? To become God not by conquest, but by inheritance. When the Presence left, abandoning his throne, it was Elaine Belloc who assumed divine authority. Not as a tyrant, not as a destroyer, but as a creator. She restructured the multiverse, granted new meaning to existence, and acted with empathy, wisdom, and balance. Her power isn't just energy manipulation or reality warping. She holds within her the full power of the demiurgic fire, the power that created existence itself. She understands the architecture of every soul, the pattern behind every reality, and the music behind time's rhythm. Elaine Belloc is not just a goddess. She's the composer of a newly written multiverse, but even gods have limits. For all her compassion and intelligence, Elaine operates within the bounds of love, narrative, and meaning. Her truth is relational, emotional, cosmic, but still bound to structure. And that, where her challenger enters. What is Aletheia? Aletheia is not a god. She is not a being born of any mythology or fantasy realm. She is not a creator. She is not a destroyer. Aletheia is truth, unfiltered, unbearable, unshaped. Originating from SCP-CN 2017 in the Chinese branch of the SCP Foundation, Aletheia is a concept-given presence. Not just any truth, but absolute truth. A truth so powerful that it doesn't fit within language, symbols, or perception. When Aletheia manifests, illusions die, lies crumble. But even more terrifying, so do identities, memories, and reality itself. She exists outside of time, outside of knowledge, and outside of narrative structure. When humans or even higher beings attempt to describe her, the words fall apart. She is antimemetic, impossible to retain in the mind for long, impossible to communicate fully. Her existence challenges the core of sentience. Because what are we, if not stories? What are gods, if not archetypes woven from belief? In the presence of Aletheia, nothing survives that isn't true, and yet, even truth, as a word, may be insufficient. Aletheia is like an event horizon of understanding, not enlightenment but disintegration. She does not seek worship, and she grants no boons. She simply is a self-justifying, non-negotiable constant in a universe built mostly of lies and perspectives. When reality faces revelation, now imagine a cosmic battlefield, but not of fists and energy blasts. This isn't a brawl between capes. This is where narrative meets negation, where purpose meets paradox. Elaine Belloc stands as the architect of a new multiverse, structured around balance, emotion, souls, and arcs. She understands the meaning behind actions, the cause and effect of choice. She weaves stories into being. Her power is relational, born from the bonds of divine intent and personal will. But Aletheia does care about will, or stories, or souls. If Elaine is a writer, Aletheia is the deletion of the language itself. If Elaine is the conductor of a grand orchestra, Aletheia is the void where music cannot exist. Their confrontation is a war. It is a collapse of meaning. As Aletheia approaches, Elaine feels her structures fray. Her creation, born of love and divinity, begins to distort, because even divinity relies on belief. Even cosmic order is built on perception, and Aletheia is the eraser of all that. Elaine tries to speak, to rationalize, to structure, to connect. But Aletheia does respond, not out of malice, but because she cannot, or more precisely, she doesn't need to. In the field of pure truth, words are noise. Elaine's creations, even the new multiverse, begin to flicker, because stories require illusion. And illusion is Aletheia's enemy. And yet, Elaine is not just a product of creation. She understands. She remembers the why behind every life. She feels the pain and beauty of mortality, and in that, she finds a paradox that even Aletheia must acknowledge, the truth of human meaning. The kind that cannot be measured, only lived. The paradox of God and truth. Elaine is a god. But Aletheia is not bound by godhood. Elaine governs meaning. Aletheia removes all meaning. And yet, in this impossibility, a paradox arises. Truth, when absolute, is unbearable. If Aletheia destroys all fiction, then even fiction, as role in understanding reality, becomes a casualty. But what if fiction is a form of truth? What if the love that Elaine embeds into her creation is its own kind of undeniable? Elaine cannot destroy Aletheia, and Aletheia cannot be rewritten, but neither can fully erase the other, because Aletheia's existence proves that something must be true, and Elaine's existence proves that some truths need form to be known. Elaine holds the idea that stories, even if constructed, reflect truths deeper than facts. That compassion, sacrifice, and belief are not lies, they are human ways of navigating the void. Aletheia stands silent, like a mirror without reflection. This is not a victory of power. It is a meeting of absolutes, and both walk away altered. Final verdict, who stands taller? So who wins? The god of creation or the truth beyond being? Elaine Belloc shines with purpose, structure, and harmony. She builds. She nurtures. She writes stories that give souls meaning. But in Aletheia's presence, all those meanings are tested, and many survive. Yet, Aletheia cannot offer comfort, growth, or choice. She does not build. She does not guide. She simply is. And that is both terrifying and incomplete. In the end, Aletheia may be truth without filter. But Elaine is truth given shape. Truth made livable, meaningful, even beautiful. And perhaps the most profound truths are the ones we can feel, not just know. So maybe the real winner is not who erases more, but who empowers more. Elaine gives the cosmos a soul. Aletheia strips it bare, but only one can give you a reason to keep going after the truth is known. And that is where Elaine Belloc, the girl who became God, leaves her mark, even on the end of truth itself. Because when all stories collapse, when gods fall silent, and when even meaning dissolves in the face of pure reality, hope is the only truth left. And that hope does come from facts. It comes from faith, from choice, and from love. The very things Elaine chose to preserve, even when truth tried to erase them. Check out my other videos for more epic character crossovers and battles. Thanks for watching, and stay happy and healthy.